And live. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to this wonderful evening dedicated to healing. Those of you watching live tonight, thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who be watching on the catch-up, then thank you so much again for watching. I'd like to welcome Dr. Robert Behrendt. Hey, at last. But from now on, you're going to be Robert. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right with me.
Oh, good. Robert, thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you'd just like to, where exactly are you broadcasting from tonight, sir?
Well, first, thank you for having me. Well, I'm located near Freiburg. That's in southwest Germany, near the French border, between the Black Forest and the French border.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Lovely. And we look forward to talking with you tonight about your experiences. I don't know a great deal about you in depth, so I will be probing quite a lot.
Yeah.
I was drawn to you. You were watching one of the live services online, and there was just something. Obviously, somebody was nudging me, going, "Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!" So I did. I did have a quick look at your Facebook page, and I just noticed that you went to the Arthur Findlay College. So I thought, interesting. And then it just sort of like grew from there. I mean, literally, I just said, right, what do you want to do? I know nothing about you. And as we did have a little meeting online and found out more, I thought, yeah, great. This is wonderful. So if you just want to do a little introduction for everybody, a little bit about yourself, how you got to be where you are today.
Yeah. Well, it was a long journey to become that person that I'm today. And it started right in my childhood, and I try to keep it short. My whole life, I was drawn to healing. And right as a child, I was a very curious child, and I asked a lot of questions very early, and I wanted to understand why I'm here on this planet and how it is functioning and how the people are functioning, and to know about all the different countries and so on. So, I was very sensitive. I could feel when people were suffering, or I could feel their pain, and that very, very much attracted me to know more about this. Yeah. To keep it short, well, my parents had another idea for me. So after school, I first made an apprenticeship in Social Security fund, in a retirement office. And that goes on until I was 26. And when you are heading 30, then you begin to question your life. Some people do. I think most people get an idea and think about, well, what have I done? How much time I have left, and what is to do about that? So I got the impression I'm not on the right way. I thought, well, I had the strong feeling to become a doctor and to help people. And in my job, I couldn't do that. So I took evening classes, and with the age of 30, I began my medical study. And it was a very interesting journey. I learned so much about the body, how is it functioning, what illnesses there are, and how they to be cured, and it was very interesting. But again, there were some questions that came in my mind. I've learned so much about diseases, illnesses, cures, but very often in the textbook we're standing, well, the illness is idiopathic. And that is a phrase that means we don't know where it comes from. And these illnesses are cured symptomatic. So you have an illness, you don't know where it comes from, and you cure it symptomatic without finding the cause and treating the cause. Well, I was very unsatisfied with that answers. So I began to be interested in alternative medicine. I've done an acupuncture course. I was interested in Chinese medicine, and I've done a Reiki course. And then I saw there are much more concepts about the human body, how an illness is caused, and how to be cured. And I couldn't understand why the regular medicine doesn't use this knowledge, this very, very old knowledge. And I think it's a mix of ignorance and false pride. I don't know. And these experiences were going on. First, I was in internal medicine, and the experience I made there was people come in, were treated with pills, go out, and 6 weeks later, I saw them again. And then I've made a very interesting experience. Sometimes we got people, they are sent to the hospital to die. And then I looked on the medication plan, and I saw, well, they are taking 10 or 15 pills. And it's often the case that when someone is dying, you end the medication. You set all off and to let the patient die in peace. And I got several cases where the patient got stronger, healthier, and I could dismiss him as cured, and he lived for several years, but with only 3 or 5 medications he then has. So that was very interesting. And there is another point. I think we are combining very much drugs, and they all have side effects, and they all are interfering with each other. And that causes sometimes that the people are getting more ill than before. So I was unsatisfied with that, and I thought, well, I am also interested in craftsmanship. So I changed the subject to surgery. With surgery, it is very interesting because when you have an illness, you see it and you can cure it. And most of the times, the patient is dismissed as cured. And that is, in my opinion, a very, very satisfying subject then. And that is how it comes to surgery, and that is what I do today in my own practice. I'm specialized on foot and hand surgery, and that is my daily job. I have a day clinic, and then you're now asking, well, where is the spiritualist there, and where is the healing? Well, now it comes to the healing and to the spiritualism. Spiritualism spiritualism, I can say it was more as an off and on relationship. I had several times in my life where it was very interesting, because in my job you are experience death and birth, and you are telling the big questions, then or you're asking the questions, big questions. And when I was around 30 during my studies, I looked for literature, for books. I've gone to 2 or 3, like we said in the older days, fortune tellers, and to get away through my life. And I experienced very weird things. It was a time where internet not existed, and where in Germany we had no books or something, or somebody where we could talk to. And it is, for example, when you think of until 2003, it was not allowed to do spiritual healing in Germany.
Wow.
And so that all puzzled me totally. I was because I saw so weird things. I couldn't. It didn't resonate with me. So, and there was a time I wasn't interested in that. So, several years later, my wife was in a bookstore, and she showed me a book of Pascal Voggenhuber that is a young medium in Switzerland. And I found this very interesting, and I've read the books. Then I've read all the books, and it very resonates with me. And he was describing about how the spiritual work, how the spiritual world looks like, and about all the things I was very interested in, and I could very understand everything. And through that book, I came to the other books, like James van Praagh and Gordon Smith, and so on and so on. And I was really eating up these books. And then I saw an advertisement in the newspaper. There was an evening of mediumship and healing in Freiburg. And the host of this was Klaus Moby, that is a medium, a friend of mine. And I went to this evening with my wife. It was the first time that I attended to such a meeting or evening. And we came a bit late, and there was a guest medium that evening that was David Cole from England. And I was right sitting on my chair. Then he comes to me and said, "Well, I have a gentleman here for you," and was totally puzzled. I thought, well, what me? What?
Go away! Don't talk to me.
Got this name on for me. And then he was telling me things, and I was always saying no, and my wife was telling yes. So this is my address to all mediums there outside. Don't accept a no, because sometimes the people are very puzzled about what happening to them. So they rather say no, and but it's yes. So
Yeah.
keep on and don't accept the no. Well, and this evening changed my life. So I attended at a circle of Klaus Mori, and then I got to know other mediums, and I was doing evidential mediumship and all the things what you try out. And I felt I was drawn to that spiritual healing. It was very interesting for me, and I wanted to know more about. And then I've got to know about the Arthur Findlay College. And because I have a scientific background, I wanted a proof. I wanted evidence. And the first course I attended at the Arthur Findlay College, that was experimental mediumship. That was with Martin Karlov and Kim Moore-Cullen. And again, this changed my life, because after this course, I was a believer, you can say. And I had so many doubts, and well, we tried out many things. It was very interesting, sitting in a cabinet, taking photographs, transcommunication with radios, and so on and so on. And well, that totally convinced me. And then I wanted to get more. And during my stay there, I've read about the H1 course, the training for healing. And I enrolled for the H1 training as a new healing medium. And it was a very interesting course. And I've done several courses at the Arthur Findlay College, the SNU Healing Week and the Healing Celebration Week, and so on, so on. And then finally, I had my upgrade or my assessment in January this year, so in Cardiff, and I had a wonderful teacher. This is Andrei Georgievich, and the meditation we do later is he developed, and he allowed me to use this, but to that we come later. And next question is then, how I do use this in my daily routine? How can a surgeon integrate that?
Yes, well, very interesting.
Yeah. First of all, when I do surgeries, I always call my spirit team to help me, and well, I'm very convinced it works. So that's the first thing. I make the connection, and I feel I'm supported. But I don't do only surgeries. I treat I treat illnesses on a conservative way. I prescribe physiotherapy and drugs and all that too. What the patient that's sitting in front of you, you can say, well, he has this disease, and you give like a scheme, this and this pill, and have a nice day. In Germany, most of the patient-doctor contacts are 3 minutes, maybe 5. Well, that is our health system here. I try to listen to the patient, and someone who examines the patient. There are lots of patients coming to me that they are telling me, well, the doctor I went first didn't touch me, didn't examine me, and didn't listen to me. What's my problem? And well, that's very sad that we have this mess here. I try to do it otherwise. And interesting thing is, when I examine the patient, I can feel where the problem is with my hands. For example, when I go to a part of the body where's a problem, I feel a heat and I feel drawn to it. It's like a magnetic power.
Yeah.
I tried several times. I told the patient, well, I feel a heat. There is something not okay. And then he's touching it and telling me, no, there's no heat. Everything is okay. So there has to be something. This is one thing what helps me to diagnose the patient. The other thing is I try to connect to the spirit world and get information how to treat this patient, because I'm convinced that not every patient can get the same cure. Some people want just to talk, some want an advice, some wanted some pills or physiotherapy. It depends on the character of the patient. So I try to find out this. In the last months, I was thinking if I can out myself as a spiritual healer. And I was thinking about, well, could that cause a damage to my reputation as a doctor? And I tried then to talk to the patients, and when I have the feeling this patients could be right for that, I offer spiritual healing to him. And until now, there was no one who said to me, I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And I have made very good experiences about that. The people are more relaxed, and I also tried this prior of a surgery, and I try to calm down the patients when I lay on the hands. It works very good. I have the impression they need less pain medication, and they are in a better mood. So and I had lately a patient who was asking me, well, doctor, I've heard you doing some things, and I have my daughter, she has cancer, and could you come and visit me? And I first I said, well, how do you know this? But but then I told her, well, okay, you're right. I come to your daughter and I will visit her. So it was also a very good experience. So it was a good thing to go out now, and I never had a problem with that. So all the doctors out there that are doing such things, just go out and try it. You don't make bad experiences. I doubt this. So that is what I use in my daily routine. Before I forget, I wanted to recommend 2 books to you.
Okay.
One book was very impressive, because you are interested in doctors who are doing spiritual healing.
Yes,
and
very much.
Maybe you know the book. It is Ian Rubinstein. He is working in London as a GP, and his book is Consulting Spirit, a doctor's experience with practical mediumship. It's very interesting, and it has inspired me a lot. And for all that are interested in healing, I have, of course, the book of Harry Edwards,
Yeah.
A Guide to the Understanding and Practice of Spiritual Healing. And that is also very interesting, and with much cases in it, and lots of evidence, and was really interesting. Well,
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, for the first,
Yeah.
it was
Absolutely riveting, Robert. Honestly, it sounds a bit funny, but I feel like I've just had my first grown-up conversation for a very long time.
okay.
Absolutely beautiful. I could really relate, and I'm sure a lot of people out there also could relate to a lot that you said. Especially like when you went to your first meeting and you were sat there going, no, and your wife's going, yes. As a working medium, the number of times you see that, you end up talking to the person next to them because
right.
we just forget. It's like rabbit in the headlights. We go, so right. Wonderful. And it's so interesting the way you were drawn to it, absolutely. Spirit manipulate and maneuver us into places, and half the time we are just not aware, but sooner or later we just go, oh okay. There's so much in what you've just said. I'm going to have to sit again and watch the replay of this to pick up on some of the things, because he said so many things and I was thinking, oh yeah, but I just didn't want to interrupt at all because it was just riveting. And I can tell by the viewer numbers as well, the numbers have held steady, which is lovely. It's people not just dipping in and out. There's a lot of people out there watching you and thoroughly enjoying this and thoroughly riveted by it too. I could relate very much when you said about when you outed yourself as a spiritual healer. Nice phrase. But the people that you were drawn to say that to didn't put up any barriers, and I can totally relate to that. I work as a medium on the platform. I have an agreement with my team that I work when I'm on the platform, or if there is a need, and they have a little signal for me when there's a need. I get physically like a finger go up the back of my neck. And I was okay, fair enough. And this happened a few times, and I spoke as a medium to people, and they were going, oh, yeah. And suddenly I thought, hold on, I'm not in that role as a medium. I'm not talking to somebody in a spiritualist church. I'm talking to somebody totally out of context of all this, but they're actually open and receiving to this. So I then started to monitor. When I got that, I said, would you understand anything about spiritual? Oh yeah, I do a bit, and I'm just thinking, wow, not only are they using me at that time to speak to that person there also is going to be receptive, because it's like if we walk out the door now and grab the first person coming along and saying there's life after death, they might go, what are you talking about? I don't believe, so it's astounding that we know when it's right. It's just right, and it just feels it. It's just like, yeah, go for it. So yeah, really could relate to that. Absolutely brilliant. Robert, you are such a fascinating gentleman. We're just coming up for 7:30. Robert has prepared a meditation for everybody. Its running time is about 11 minutes long. So those of you listening who'd like to join in with that, please, make yourselves comfortable, or if you're driving, pull over, I would recommend. And just get yourselves ready, because we'll broadcast that very shortly. There's lots of lovely questions coming in from people, lots of good viewers in, a lot of mediums in, and a lot of healers on tonight. Absolutely lovely. Yeah. I'm looking down the list going healer. Should be a healer. Not yet. Should be a healer, doesn't know it yet. So yeah, I think we are probably ready, if you'd agree, that we go into your meditation now. Would that be fine with you, sir?
Yeah, that's fine. And after it, I can give some tips for the people who want to start with spiritual healing, and we have a question and answer session afterwards, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, keep the energies nicely in their areas. So if you bear with me, everybody, I have practiced this a number of times.
Relax in your chair, nice and calm. Breathe in and hold your breath. 1, 2, breathe out. Breathe in, hold your breath. 1, 2, breathe out. You feel the relaxation. And now you are ready to begin a journey. Imagine you are in a beautiful valley. The birds are singing. The sun is shining. You walk along a path at the river. And you leave everything behind. The river is so still like your mind. And you let everything behind. And you walk away. In the distance, you see a hillside. You are going towards that hillside. Further away. When you reach that hillside, you see steps are cut out of mud. You set your first foot on the steps and you're walking up and up. And the muddy steps turn to wooden steps. And you walk up and up. The wooden steps turn to stone steps. And you walk up and up. And the stone steps turn to marble steps. White marble steps. And finally, you will reach the top. And there you find a beautiful plateau of white marble. And your spirit team is waiting for you. They are welcoming you. They waited for so long. And they show you the middle of that plateau. There you see a beautiful fountain. A fountain of light. And you walk through that fountain. You are standing in front of it. You feel the warmth of the fountain. And you step in the fountain. Immediately, your head fills with pure light and love. and you feel how it is spreading through your body, your neck, your chest, your abdomen, and you feel love and light. You feel the connection, and you remember you are a part of it. You waited for so long to reconnect with that power, and now you are full of light and love, because you are light and love. That is your origin. When you look down to your feet, you are standing in a pool of light. You see a mirror forms, and in that mirror you see a person that needs healing. And you are so full of the power you want to share, and you want to send this healing to the person you see in the mirror. And you look up to the fountain, and your intent and your thoughts are going to that person you have seen in the mirror. And all the love and light you are sending out now. And now you look again in the mirror. You see the person, and it seems as she recognizes you. And the person looks calm and relaxed. You know you have fulfilled your task. And the mirror now disappears. It is time to leave now. And you step out of the fountain. Your spirit team is proud of you. They are smiling to you. You have done so well. And then you will walk with them back the plateau to the steps. And you feel so light, so bright, full of love. And now you say goodbye to your spirit team, but you know you are a part of them. You walk never alone. They are there for you every time. And you are going down the steps, the marble steps, the stone steps, and you're feeling so light, so bright. You are flying down the steps like a feather. The wooden steps, the muddy steps, and you're now back on your path. And you walk on the path along the river. You're feeling the feet on the ground. In your room. And now you're coming back in your room, in your own time. And slowly you open your eyes when you feel it is right. And what remains is a feeling of love and light. And that you take with you in your dreams tonight.
Wow. I was torn. I really wanted to go with that one, but I thought, no, I've got to stay a little bit here to click the buttons. I shall certainly be using that one.
Yeah.
Robert, that was a beautiful meditation. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to prepare that for us. It's so appreciated. Now, sir, we have a few questions. Everybody is... Do you know what? We've not dropped one viewer, and that is lovely to see, because you see, you know, people drift in and out and everything, but we haven't. Everybody is still here. Well, I presume it's still here.
Maybe I could say one thing.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah. If you're interested, I have to give credit to the artist of the music. That is Nigel Shaw. He does wonderful flute music, and he has also a YouTube channel, so you can listen to the music. He gives also online concerts right now, and really wonderful music that takes me away. So, and just one sentence, I told during the meditation, reconnection to the power, to the source. And that is something I want to give you as a motto. And that leads to the questions, why get people ill? But now that's, I go too far with that, then we have to do another session. So,
yes, definitely.
Try to shut your digital world off, take your time off, and we are so distracted nowadays, and the times are very, very fast. There comes something in my mind when you think of the older days, when you sit down writing a letter, going to the post office, and then you waited for the answer for the next 2 weeks. Now you're writing a WhatsApp, and when you have no answer within 2 minutes, well, then you're thinking, well, what's going on? So, yeah, that's in all sectors of our life. I think it's too fast for us, and we have to take time out to reconnect, to find to ourselves, and to do self-healing.
Very, very wise words, Robert. Very true. Very true. So we have the lovely Fiona Parry Dodd, who gave a wonderful evening on healing last Saturday here on this channel. And she's asking, how do your medical colleagues relate to you combining spiritual healing with conventional medicine? Also, have you inspired any of your colleagues to find out more about spiritual healing?
Well, that's the same with the patients. I don't tell everybody what I do.
Got ya. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I have some that are interested, and you know what is common here is Reiki, for example. It's we have some people who do this, and I try to inspire. When I think that's the right person, I tell them and try to inspire them, because we have to grow. So
yeah, that is so true. Yeah, we for us, you know, it's so wonderful. We want to go out and share it with everybody, but all we end up doing is putting ourselves in the firing line for those not so as developed or whatever, you know, and always say there's more to be gained by the quiet study in a library than there is in the discourse of an open forum. So yeah, very true.
When you come to the point, is spiritual healing working, and are there studies? The problem is in Germany are very less studies. I know there are some people who do studies, but they can't get it published. That's a problem. When you want to publish it in an important magazine, there are mostly 3 people who look at the article, and well, 1 or 2 say no, that we don't want to have this in our newspaper. That's still the problem, and there are very much studies done in America or in England, and also at the Arthur Findlay College, they are done very much studies with with the University of Northampton, I think, and much more. And that is what they what they are telling me at the Arthur Findlay College, that many universities now are interested to do these studies, and this has risen the last 8 to 10 years, and that gives me hope that we will have more studies for that.
Yeah, very true. I agree wholeheartedly there. It's very slow to start, but it is there. We had a gentleman come and use the church, and he was a doctor from India, and his specialist field was cancer. And at our local hospital, we've got a very big cancer unit, and he was down here for 6 months for whatever reason. But he was using the church regularly, so I got talking to him, and I said, so what is the link? Why are you looking into the spiritualist churches, you know, in your field? And he said, well, it's very interesting. He said, we have 2 wards at the hospital he came from, and he said 1 ward people recover quicker than the other ward, and we couldn't understand why. And he said, now I'm just thinking, is it the simple fact the recovery ward where people progress quicker was painted blue, and the other ward was painted just like a nondescript beigey color? And he said, and I wonder if it's that vibration. I thought, how interesting. How interesting is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know,
really. Mm-hmm.
We had a little discussion the other night. We were talking about music as a vibration and sound as a vibration, and that being brought into the healing energies as well. You know, all these things, we vibrate, and anything that vibrates can affect our vibration. So yeah, really interesting. I have a question here from Fabricio. as a doctor, do you have to totally separate spirituality at your workplace, or is the conventional medicine is a start to opening to spiritual matters? Yeah, I think Fabricio, Robert sort of did touch on that earlier. He was saying that people come to him for a consultation, and a few you get drawn to say, well, hold on. But also, you said something, and that was intriguing to me because I'm a very nosy person. You know, you said that in a standard consultation, before you ask your team, and I think that's awesome, because how often do we forget to ask for that support? But you're also drawn as part of your consultation, be it it's that whole holistic approach, isn't it? You have got the qualifications, the knowledge, the understanding there, but you've also bringing in this other dimension as well. How awesome is that? Yeah,
that is what I do.
Yeah. So I hope that's answered your question, Fabricio, because we're not having another one. Oh, the lovely Donna Perry Harkin. Robert, what is the best way to get into healing if you're already a healer? Asking for a friend. Yeah. Donna, we might need a little bit more clarity on that question, my darling. Yeah. So, there we go. Jan Paul, again, I think probably you've just covered this. How does your medical organization board view spiritual healing and you as a healer?
Well, they don't accept this as an official part of my work.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Jamie has always got a good question up his sleeve. Robert, how widespread is the practice of spiritual healing within the German health service, and in what areas is it used? I don't know if I'm misinterpreting you, Jamie. I would say it's sort of like the practice of holistic treatments, because in the UK now we are recognizing within the health service Reiki. You know, there's a number of health boards that now employ Reiki practitioners.
Well, we have some clinics who have also a department for holistic treatment, and there they try out Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Reiki, and such things. There are hospitals that they have a department there. Yeah, we have some. Yeah. But it's not widespread in Germany. It's more in Switzerland where the people are more open to it, because and many mediums are working in Switzerland. So there we have two institutions or organizations. That is the Basler Psi-Verein and der Psi-Verein. There are two organizations. They give courses. For example, Stephen Upton is there and doing a trance course, and so on. And in the last years, there are some organizations who doing courses in Germany. I've done a trance healing course in Germany. I organized it with Andrew Georgievich, my healing trainer. And I wanted to, the next course I wanted to do is spiritual healing and yoga. Ooh. It's a very interesting thing I want to do.
Excellent. Lovely. Lovely Susan Townsend. Robert, are you able to arrest disease or illness which is in the subtle energy fields prior to it manifesting in the physical body? So I think Susan's just asking there, you know, have you ever been aware that with your healing, you've probably either delayed or negated the onset of an illness. So you've caught it right at the root before it's had chance to spread or flourish.
Yeah, sometimes there are some cases, but I have to do this more to talk about that.
And
I remember, for example, I had a lady who had a frozen shoulder. That is something where you can move your shoulder, and she got physiotherapy, she got injections, and then she came to me, and then I offered her spiritual healing twice, and then after some time she called me, and it was two weeks later, and told me it's gone, it's totally gone. It was half a year. She got treatment, nothing happened, and after 2 sessions of spiritual healing, she could move her arm without pain, never had to take pain medication. I was very surprised too. I had some cases where I can tell you it worked, and I have no other explanation for that.
It is so fascinating. We could talk all night on these subjects. Something springs to mind there when you do have these fantastic recoveries. You know, how much of it is you and your spirit team, and also how much of it is the person themselves? Because, you know, I always say, people ask me about having spiritual healing. Should I have it? What do you think? And I said, well, if you sit there and think it's not going to work, guess what? It's probably not going to work.
It's true.
If you sit there and accept, you know, so is the healing, is it the healing itself, or is the hello, I've gone all blue here, that's nice. Thank you. Is it the healing itself, or is it that healing is just sparking that catalyst within that person, that one spirit, to go, you know what, I can overcome this myself, I've got it, you know?
Yeah, there are several factors that are important. That is the healer itself, his personality, it's very important. The surroundings, the place where you do healing is very important. That is what we also learn during the course to set a good environment. But it is important when the people ask me, do you heal? You are a healer, and I tell them, no, I'm a healing medium.
Yeah,
not the healer. I just just a middler, like a radio. I have to transfer the healing energy, and during this process, I withdraw, and I don't. I try not to stand in the doorway. So that is very important. When I first started with healing, I thought, well, I have to ask the people, what do you have? And maybe they come with a bad knee. So I have to concentrate on the knee, heal the knee. That is distracting you totally from the thing, what you want to do. That is what I told very earlier. You don't know what is the cause of the disease. And what do you learn as a healer is that you are working together with the intelligence. They know where they have to go to give healing. And some things can't be healed, but you can work for a pain relief or a relaxation, or you don't know on what level the patient needs the healing. And so as a healer, I think you have to give the decision totally to the spirit world, because they know what to do. That's very important. So make the connection to the patient, make the connection to the spirit world, connection with you, and then let it flow. That's all.
Yeah.
Step out the way. So, yeah.
So wise. So wise. Thank you. Lovely. Paul Dodd. Do you need to have insurance for spiritual healing alongside professional indemnity insurance for your conventional medicine?
No.
No.
There's nothing in Germany. I have to be insured as a doctor, but you can't be insured for spiritual healing because it's not official treatment. So
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We in the UK, I don't know how far this extends into the EU, but in the UK, yes, our healers do have an insurance. It's one of the bugbears. Unfortunately, we live in this world now where if you put your hands on somebody, you are then liable. They could say anything, you'd crick my neck or whatever. So yeah, it is a necessary thing. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's a good one. Christine. I am practicing healing in a circle and I want to train how to feel what is wrong in the patient. Do you feel a difference in temperature in different parts of the body?
Yes.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. I have to put on the light. Maybe.
Yeah, thank you. You were disappearing.
It's getting dark and I'm fading away. So okay, that's better. So yes, that's I told earlier. That is what I feel. What I have learned during my courses I attended to is a body scanning. You use your mediumship ability to do a body scan, and what we else did is to work with colors, and maybe when we imagine the patient, and you see on a part in your mind's eye a red color, it could stand for inflammation. And so on. The colors have a meaning, and these are two very interesting things. What you can learn, it is the body scan in your mind's eye, or to work with colors and look it up. They have all a meaning. It is very interesting to work with that.
That is fascinating, Christina. I really hope you heard the response there. Yeah. So Robert feels a difference in the temperature. That's fine. But don't forget, Christina, we are all unique. Everybody is unique, and your spirit team too, the way they work with you is a uniqueness. So try the colors, try the temperature, try the feeling, just try where you're drawn, just work with it. So yeah. And also sit with your spirit team and say, okay, I need this ability because, why do you want to have that ability to know where to be drawn to? Think that through and present that to your spirit team and say, okay, I need this ability because, it's a continual learning process, Christina. Us and our spirit team, and we do, even we all do it. We forget to ask everybody else. We just go, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And they're all sat in the background going, carry on then.
Yeah.
Robert, do you know what a brilliant evening. Do you know, honestly, I'm blown away. Christina just says thank you for the answer there. Thank you, Christina. I am blown away. A wonderful evening. I can sit and listen to you for ages. You said tonight, this is the first time you've worked like this. Well, I can guarantee you it won't be the last time. You've got a lot to share. You're so amiable and approachable. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure sometime it's in the near future, we would have another evening with you, maybe on a different aspect. That would be absolutely wonderful. So
Yeah. For example, I'm very interested for physical mediumship, and
Yeah.
I do table tipping and photography and so on, and that would be interesting evening to talk about that. So maybe.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Physical mediumship does capture a lot of people's imagination, very much so. It's one of these fields that I am drawn to the physical mediumship. I have been away and done a few weeks away with physical. I should have just been up in Scarborough a couple of weeks ago for a physical mediumship weekend. But it just hits everybody on a different level, you know. It's a fascinating subject, and if I could take you up on that offer, yes, please, we can schedule a special evening in with you on your physical mediumship. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. And I hope there comes a time where I can visit you in person and
definitely
be part of your service.
Yeah, well, actually, I've got a better idea. I'll come out and see you in Germany because
okay,
yeah, that sounds great.
Welcome. No problem.
At the moment, I can only go to the end of my drive. Very dull.
Same with us.
Robert, a lot of very positive comments coming in. As I said, I really feel like I've had a grown-up evening this evening. It's been wonderful. I'm not being funny. It's been wonderful seeing the new types of mediumship evolving on this online forum and the types of services. But I've just been very prompted and very mindful not to neglect aspects of our wonderful understanding, you know, and healing is one of the primary ones. And I think this evening has reached out to a lot of people on a new level. You know, it's not just messages, which is going on. You know, we've got the whole kit and caboodle here. We've got healing, we've got philosophy, we've got physical mediumship. There's so much out there. Absolutely wonderful. Janet, oh, look out. You look out, Robert. Your name has been taken. Janet Ridge, who is our church's vice president and medium secretary. So look out. You're written down now. We look forward to seeing you at Paul Church soon. Very interested in physical mediumship. No, I'll be in Germany. So either you're going to get a booking for Paul Church or you're going to have a woman called Janet turn up on your doorstep. Either way. Robert, sir, thank you so much. Brilliant evening. So enjoyed it. Absolutely. The energy, you really felt it. Brilliant. For everybody out there watching, thank you so much for watching this evening. I'm astounded those numbers have remained just so constant there. It's been lovely to see. Coming up this weekend, tomorrow night at 7, we have an evening with Craig Morris, who is a platform medium. He tours the country, very much so, in shows in theatres and serving churches and running workshops. So that'll be an interesting evening to hear his experiences in that field. Sunday morning, we have Elsa Rossi. She is a beautiful lady. She is the chairman of the BUSS, which is the British Union of Spiritist Society. And her service will be totally dedicated to the works of Jesus and bringing Jesus into our lives. So we've got a whole range of different topics, different subjects. With Elsa's service, please note there will be no mediumship. Elsa works very much on the inspirational level. And I do know through experience of seeing her talks, they really are engrossing. They just give you a lot to think about when you go away. So that's Sunday morning at 11. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay indoors, most importantly. Take care, everybody. Love you loads. Miss you lots.